So, one of my favorite words of all is this word. It's a Japanese word called Kaizen. First heard it when I was around 14 in my business studies class, and it's a principle that uh, translates to continuous improvement. I love that word because it's something that comes to my mind almost every day, numerous times in the day. And I think that it's something that's awesome about being human is that we are constantly improving. Um, our bodies, our minds, and it's body, mind, and in spirit. And when I say in spirit, it's very linked to your mind, but there's different parts. So you've got your physical body that you can continuously improve throughout your life. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to be a rugby player when you're 80, the best rugby player, the best martial artist. Through yoga, for example, you can continuously improve your flexibility and you can continuously improve the way your body functions. So the posture of your body, the flexibility of your body, the way your body is aligned, the way you breathe, the way the blood flows through your body, the way your digestive system works. Everything about your body can be consistently and constantly improved. So, or continuously improved, which is Kaizen. Um, for example, your vision. You can improve your vision by, most of us we're always looking at things that are really close, so our eyes get lazy and weaker. It's just so important to look outside sometimes, go out into the country, or just look at long distances, long range. Go to the beach, go to a park, and just look into the distance. Train your eyes. That's just one example. There's hundreds of thousands of examples of how we can improve our bodies with our minds as well. It's so deep. It gets into the mathematical mind of being able to remember and study and calculate things, but then there's also the emotional, the spirit, you know, side, which is being able to focus and be connected to the flow and the harmony of just the way that your body or the way that your existence wants to flow and exist, which we in my previous videos we call being in the zone. So being aligned with that, having a strong spirit and being able to sense people, nature, and just the flow of the world. So there's a lot of cultures and civilizations that grew around the world completely apart that have very similar ways of seeing things and believing. So I love this notion, and I 100% live my life by it. And age does not worry me. Nothing. There's no limits on this. You shouldn't be worried about your sex, your age, your race, even your health, because continuous improvement means that there's always an opportunity to improve. And different phases and stages of our lives will allow us to improve different aspects of ourselves. So, for example, if you're younger, you're able to, improve it's an opportunity for you to focus on your body, perhaps more, and get your body to a really good frame, a good place where it can, be strong and in good shape and prepared for the rest of your life. And then at different stages of your life, you can focus on other aspects of your body. Like I said, your body is so complex and there's so many things that you can always be working on. And then, in different stages of your life, you can, when you get older, you can focus on the mind. You're developing your focus. So being able to continuously improve is just something that you're in control of, and it's based on believing it and having it as a belief. And for me, it's one of my most important, if not the most important core belief of mine. And I wake up every morning, every night I go to bed with that as my core of, like, I want to every day be better than I was the day before. Now, continuous improvement doesn't mean that you're just going to be here and then 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 here until the end. No. Continuous improvement, in my opinion, it depends on you going here, here, and then boom, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then boom again, going down. But as long as you keep going higher, is what's important. And as long as you don't have a huge boom, drop down. It doesn't matter if you have a huge one. The big ones can make you stronger always, but it's always better to try and keep it more in balance. But that's an important thing that I think it's very important for people to know, that taking sometimes a step back can help you to take 2 steps forward. So I very much believe in taking breaks and rest. I believe that, and there's a lot of evidence, scientific evidence and studies that have shown how much sleep and rest can make us stronger, and we actually develop physical strength when we rest. When we're in the gym or when we're training hard, we're tearing up those muscle fibers, breaking them down, and then when we rest is when we actually make our gains. All those muscles start to heal and become stronger than they were before. And it's the same with the mind, things that are traumatic to us, while they might bring us down for a while, and we might be in depression or sad or angry for a while, actually open another door by creating more awareness in us. So we become more aware. I like to call it, people will call it perhaps, anxiety or whatever you want to call it. But I like to call it just activated. You become more activated. I don't like the word anxiety or depression. You become more activated because you become more aware of things. And awareness is not an easy thing to deal with if you're not educated about it and you don't know what's going on. When we're kids, we're much less aware than we are when we're adults, because we haven't had so much trauma. And when the mind is traumatically impacted, it almost, like, the way I see it is, it creates a new layer of awareness, kind of like it's almost like a monitor. A new monitor is created to help you. So it's like, okay, I'm going to become more aware now because I need to be more aware to protect me. So it's out of fear, but it's not a bad thing at all. It's incredible. And the older we get, the more opportunity we have to to become so much more powerful mentally. The thing is, though, like I said, like anything, you need to be educated and know about this. Otherwise, you're just going to be lost and you're going to suffer and you're going to be like, what's going on? What's happening? I'm changing. I'm not the same. So just understanding ourselves and why our bodies do and our minds do the things that they do is so key. And as I said, when you are traumatically affected, you become more aware. And some of us, when we go through a really difficult trauma, the reward is a huge amount of awareness. But this can lead to depression and anxiety because you've kind of lost your focus or just the way you used to go through life more without thinking and without being aware. Now you're like super aware, so you're like hyper aware, and you're thinking about everything more. Like, what's that person thinking? What's the blah blah blah? So much going on. And the key is that whenever you do go through trauma and you have like this injection of awareness and this new layer that develops of awareness in your mind, it's almost like you need to digest it. Okay, at first it's going to happen, and then it's going to be like you've just eaten like a big meal, and it's just going to be kind of, it could be draining and difficult and confusing. But understanding that once you digest it, and then you settle into that new way of awareness and learn how to navigate now with increased awareness, then you become more and more powerful, and it's just it's an amazing thing. It's basically like you're getting upgraded. Okay, a lot of us, we think of it differently, which is a shame. Like, people think that you're losing and you're becoming weaker and you're becoming downgraded as these things happen. Not at all. No, it's like you're riding a horse, and then all of a sudden your horse just gets upgraded. Okay, but it's harder to control now, the horse, because it's going faster, it's stronger, it's more powerful, it's more sensitive to its environment and its to everything around it. And you just need to now relearn how to ride that new horse. And then when you do, it's just, you're going to be so powerful, so powerful. And usually the core method for continuous improvement for everything, including like how to relearn how to ride that new powerful horse, is all about focus. And you'll see like a lot of spiritual teachers or in yoga and all, this whole realm of healing and self-improvement, self-development, people will just say, oh, just meditate or focus or whatever. But you very rarely will hear about how to focus, because that's the most important thing of all. Is you can't just tell someone to sit there and meditate, or to try to like not think, or just try to control. Well, how do you do it? We all need to know how to be able to do things. And so I think that the most important thing that we can work on as humans every day is to learn and become stronger, to develop our focus muscle, because the muscle of focus is a muscle. It's like a muscle. And if it's weak, which in most of us, it's super weak. In most humans, it's non-existent. It's almost like a dead thing. Something happens, you're distracted. Something else happens, you're distracted. And you're constantly just distracted by things that are more stimulating or more interesting. They take our focus. Okay, so the way to strengthen your focus, I'll do another video on this, is, because it requires a video dedicated to it, is to be disciplined, and when an opportunity arises that is interesting or stimulating, when you're disciplined and you say no, no, then that's how you just did 100 push-ups to strengthen your focus. And the more and more you do that, the stronger your focus gets. Then you can do things like, then you can move into like watching your breathing, which they talk about in meditation or yoga. But diving straight into like, hey, just watch your breathing. You can strengthen your focus that way, but it's really hard. And I think a lot of people get discouraged because they start that way and they're like, man, I suck at this, so I'm never going to be good at meditating. Or how are you supposed to be able to do it when you aren't trained? So this is why I love, like, there's so much good things in religions. Religions, it's been a really cool thing to just criticize religions for the last 60, 50 years, and it's gradually gotten cooler and cooler and cooler, and now it's like the cool thing, like religions suck and all this. But there's so much great stuff in religion. And remember, these people that originally inspired religions, like Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha, they weren't Christians, Muslims, or Jews or Buddhists. They were just people that had great wisdom and, started attracting followers. So there's a lot to learn, and in the religions, they'll talk about, for example, there's fasting in religions where they, in Islam, like you'll fast for a month, that you won't eat from like the morning from sunrise until sunset. And that's an incredible way to like build up self-discipline. And they'll do that once a year for a month in a year. And there's all sorts of like things like that in Christianity and Judaism and Buddhism. It's not depriving yourself of anything. It's just how to maintain your focus and strength muscle. And remember, focus comes from being disciplined. Disciplined is having self-control, self-restraint, being able to say no to certain things and direct your attention, which is energy, as I always like to say, onto things that you know are good for you. Because at the end of the day, 90% of us, almost all of us, know what's good for us and know what's not good for us. That's not the problem. The problem is having that strength and that discipline to be able to say, I'm going to choose what's better for my life, rather than succumb to my temptations and allow stimulations and things that are interesting to take control of me. So that's my video, and the thing is, like, when you do allow those things to take control of you, you become weaker and weaker, and you lose that discipline, okay? So it works in the opposite. So just a few things to think about, and, I've started actually coaching now because I've been getting a lot of emails, and it's been hard to just talk to everybody and communicate with everyone, which I would love to, but it's just too much, and it's just too hard. Like I don't even have. I wish I could reply to a lot of comments on some of my videos, which have been getting like big hits, but it's just too much. So I'm doing my best, but I'm doing coaching, and I'm not charging very much at all. It's just very minimal. So I'm doing like $70 like a week, and then I do like a bigger deal for like per month. And you can talk to me like unlimited. We can talk on email, or I like to use Skype Messenger, and just be there as like a coach, just to remind. So that's another way, if you're interested in what I'm talking about, to get more information. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to keep making videos and sharing all of this stuff, and I hope there's something there that helps. Alright, so it's going to be hard to like heal. It's going to be hard to go through your breakup. It's going to be hard to continuously improve unless you have that discipline, unless you are able to focus your attention. So step one is just trying to introduce things into your life that help you to build discipline, build self-control. Like fasting is one way to do it, but it's basically, it can be anything. It can be like just setting goals for yourself and accomplishing them. It can be any goal. It can be that today I'm going to meditate for 1 minute. Or it's going to be like, today I'm going to journal. Or today I'm going to like not go online dating for more than 30 minutes a day. Or today I'm not going to go onto a porn site. Or today I'm you know what I mean? It's like setting like a schedule for yourself and following it. And it doesn't have to be something out of reach. Just be cool to yourself. Help yourself. At the beginning, make it easy. Make it really easy, because continuous improvement doesn't mean huge improvement overnight. It means slow, step by step, over time. As we all know, like time can pass quickly. So why not start today and just do it? Like, try and do it. If you find like most people it's difficult to do something every day, then don't. Do it once a week. Do it twice a week. Say, look, once a week I'm going to sit down and meditate for 2 minutes. So 2 minutes a week. All right? The key is to know yourself. You have to be your own coach, your own guru. All right? And then use people like me, use books, use whatever, as your resources, but you've got to custom tailor it to yourself because you know yourself best. All right, I'm out of here. So yeah, all the best. And remember, Kaizen, yeah? Continuous improvement. All right, talk soon.